everybody, and welcome back to Heidi's house. This is your host, Queen Bee Heidi B. And today's featured guest is Roberto Rodriguez. He is an artist, DJ, music producer, and oh my goodness, so much more. I can't wait to hear about his house music journey. So, are you ready? Then let's go. So, here he is. Roberto Rodriguez is in the house. Woo! Welcome. How are
Thanks,
you today?
I'm all good. All good.
Oh,
it's a sunny day in Helsinki, so it's all good. Yeah.
Yes, it's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful day, and I'm so happy and grateful that you took time for us to join into this little podcast of Heidi's house. So thank you again, and
Thanks.
and we've met time to times in Helsinki house scene. Obviously, I'm trying to be as active as I can from my life, based on my life situation. But I do know also that you are very active here in Finland and abroad as well. Yes.
Yeah.
So now, as you know, Heidi's House podcast is a very kind of snapshot kind of podcast, very short, little introduction to each of our featured guests. And because of that, I'm gonna just continue straight away to our first question, which I always ask in the beginning of each interview. And the question goes, tell us about who is Roberto Rodriguez?
That's a top one. Yeah. Well, my name is Roberto Rodriguez. I'm a DJ producer, radio producer, radio enthusiast, musician since the late 80s, I'd say. I started making music in the late 80s with my home computer, Amiga, back in the days. And then I evolved into DJing also in the early 90s, around 91, 92, and continued making music. And my first release, which you can see the cover of, or the artwork you can see behind me, was released in 99 on Sähkö Recordings' sub-label, Keys of Life. And that was the first official release. I did have some releases like on promo CDs or stuff like that prior to this one, but I count this one as the first real release. And it was such a wonderful feeling to have this vinyl in my hand after all those years. After 10 years of practicing making electronic music, I finally managed to get a release together with Jukka Kartinen. Yeah. And what else do you want to know? Yeah. 99 that's 25 years ago already.
Yeah, exactly. And we will go more in detail to those 25 years and plus of your house music journey. But I have to just say that, what you mentioned there, a classic Finnish label, Sähkö, house music enthusiasts, certainly, at least in Europe, they are, aware of that label, and it has really, very long roots in a Finnish house scene. So shout out to Sähkö. All right.
Shout out.
That was a little introduction, and I know that you are doing various other things here in a Finnish house music scene, and have been doing, still very active, and you've been influencing hugely into the scene throughout your career, not only as a DJ, artist, producer, but also as a radio personality and media personality and everything else. So yes, all of those Finnish audience that we have here watching are certainly aware of that. So I'm very happy to have you represent us here, since you are making such and have been making such a huge impact to the scene here. And not only here, but also worldwide. You have been releasing in a very, very prestigious and major labels, of which we are gonna find out a little bit more. So, Roberto, now the second question is going towards that beginning of your house music journey. So, could you tell us what was it that really got you to house music? Why house music?
Why house music? I don't know. It was the first spark from Lil Lewis's French Kiss, from Marshall Jefferson's the house themes, and all those tracks in the late 80s just made a huge impact on me. After that came, acid house and techno and trance and even drum and bass, and I got really excited about everything that was in the electronic music spectrum. Yeah. I started making all kinds of music, not only house music. I produced trance, drum and bass, ambient, all different genres. But in '99 I landed at house music as my first release. At the same time I produced down tempo and hip hop type of beats and jazzy stuff. But house music was the first ever to get released, and is my lifelong love. Yeah. Of I had such huge influences in those early producers and legends. Also with Finnish radio legends like Alex Nieminen's radio show on our national radio, Dance Mob, such a huge influence. Yeah, I could name 100 influences, but we don't have the time here.
I remember Alex and Dance Mob and everything. That's my early influences as well here in the local scene. So yeah, thank you for mentioning that as well and sharing about that. Now this gives us a nice path to a next question. You already mentioned those few of those greats, but what are the artists that you think that have inspired your music most?
Most.
Or have
Quincy Jones.
Yeah.
Quincy Jones. John Williams.
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye. The most. Mm-hmm. Well, then there are Los Hermanos, like the Underground Resistance guys. Yeah. And Derek May. Oh yes. Huge. Many legends that I look up to.
Yes, huge names, and just kind of describes well your appetite for various kind of genres in music. Like you were describing that you composed and produced and released different genres as well, and you listen also different very influential artists there, so it makes all sense. Beautiful thing. All right.
Yeah, I've always produced a wide range of music because I think if I stick to only one music genre, that the ideas will dry up.
Yeah.
If I challenge myself and try to do different kinds of music, it brings up a lot of different kind of ideas that I can implement in all the genres, and that's, people have described my music like a mishmash of different styles. Anyway, so maybe people somehow hear it in the music as well. Mm-hmm. All the different influences.
Yeah. And I find it absolutely beautiful because, like you described very well, that you get those influences and flavors from different, and it kind of keeps the creativity more and more fueled, and
Yeah.
it makes things exciting, and it's the stuff that you can never evolve enough. I mean, you can never be ready. You can always find something new to be inspired of. So that's a very beautiful way to describe it, what you just said there. Now, next question. I'm still gonna ask it, even it has been in some cases almost mission impossible, and especially for people like you who have huge history as a DJ and in radio and everywhere, media. But I'm still gonna try to ask. Maybe let's see what kind of things you would name. The original question goes to name top 3 of your favorite house music tracks, but I'm not gonna ask it exactly like that. What I'm gonna ask is that, what would you say, Roberto, which are the tracks, house music tracks, that you can always come back to? Your, so to say, go-to tracks when it comes to house music.
Blaze, Lovely Day.
Mm-hmm.
Dub Tribe Sound System, Do It Now.
Yeah.
So many, so many. Promised Land.
Oh, beautiful, yeah.
But that was 3 already. So
that was 3 already. Now, if we dissect those 3 already, what is it in those tracks that appeals to you most, if you describe them a bit?
Beautiful harmonies, uplifting melodies, uplifting happy stuff. The original vibe of having fun on the dance floor.
Yeah, absolutely well said. And I think that just connects the whole house scene. We are talking here with different guests about the global house music scene and the ethos of house music. And that was very well put there, that enjoying, having fun, dancing, the joy of life, so to say. So it's beautiful, beautiful way to approach this thing and this question. Now you have released tons of music already during those years of you being active here in a music production and as an artist. Now, I would like to ask, what would be those tracks, your own tracks, that stand out to you most, and maybe why?
I released a track called Venus on Eskimo Recordings. I think it was 2007 or 2008. Mm-hmm. It's 105 BPM, like cosmic space disco, 12-minute track that somehow has stuck with me for all this time as my favorite production of all time, of my own productions. If I listen to it nowadays, of course, I would mix it differently or make it much better than it, because my skills have improved and stuff like that. But I still consider that to be my personal masterpiece in some way. The composition and the journey that it takes the listener in those 12-14 minutes. Then there is Ride With Me with Maxi, which was a huge hit, and I still play it these days. Mm-hmm. I still play it, and it always gets the crowd jumping. What else? There's so many. I have tens and tens of releases, but yeah, those 2 stick with me. Maybe I keep thinking of you as well from Fina. it wasn't my favorite when it was released, but it has grown on me because of I see the joy that it has brought people, so much joy, that it's become my one of my personal favorites as well.
Beautiful, and that's the power, when we do that music, that uh, since it's a way of communicating with the people, and sometimes you do get this kind of so wonderful responses. You can sense the vibes, how people respond to your music, and I think that's one of the things that also keeps us artists going, when we really can witness that effect that our music and the message that we spread is giving to people. Or sometimes that, like you were describing, that it's almost like surprises to us, like, oh wow, like, how well people respond and how glad they are to hear it. So it's a beautiful thing. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, because when you do a track, when you produce a track, you never know how people are going to receive it, and so I always pay by the rule that if it makes me dance, I'm pretty sure that people will dance, but you never know how well they will receive it, even though it makes me dance. But I should by now trust my instincts. I do, but it's you never know which is going to resonate in a big way in the crowd until you see it, until you play it, until you see it properly.
Exactly, and I have to say that I totally agree with that. That there's this kind of thing that you can kind of try to put your finger on it. That okay, I'm vibing to this, so most likely I'm hoping that the people are vibing to it too. You kind of have that sense, but then I don't know, has it happened to you? But I have experienced that when I have produced a track, and it might have been surprising me a lot, that I have had the idea that this is dynamite, now it's gonna hit well with the audience, and then it's something else that actually seems to be working better. So
yeah, it has happened, but yeah, and sometimes it happens. Yeah, but not too often, but it still happens. But then I try to try out the tracks before I release them, so I know if there's something I can tweak, if there's some reason people don't like it, or they don't move in a way that I intended, then I just try something else for the track and perfect it and make it better.
Now, for people watching this episode, especially aspiring music producers, I just think that what you said is very, very important. So really testing the track a little bit, getting the feedback, it's super important. So you can evolve and take that kind of important feedback to build up your own producer skills. So very good point mentioned there. Thank you for that. And then the first point that I think the feeling, the gut feeling that can I dance to this is super important as well. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, when I produce, I always try to build it standing up, building the arrangement standing up, because your body will tell you when something needs to happen in the track.
Yeah.
You can't have that feeling when you're sitting down and just clicking your mouse. You need to, if you're building track and listening from the beginning, if you have gone to parties, then you know when exactly something needs to happen and what it's something exciting needs to happen. And that's a pro tip.
Yeah, that's a pro tip. And also I have to add, like you mentioned about the feelings, house is a feeling. That's all about the feeling, raising the feelings. So if it doesn't raise any kind of feelings, like that's also something then that needs to be very, very, very meticulous and cautious with, so to say, when producing. Very important point. Now, since this is only a very snapshot kind of interview, which is then followed by a little mini mix where I'm gonna play some of your amazing releases, I'm gonna have only few more questions to ask. And therefore, I'm gonna continue to a following question. Roberto, what would you say so far during your long career? What are the highlight moments for you so far in your house music journey? And I know that you must have huge amount of highlights, but what kind of things stand out when you really like felt that, yes?
The moments that made me really happy was when I got to ask to remix Frankie Knuckles. That was an amazing moment, and also the moment I was asked to remix the trance classics, Café Del Mar and Schöneberg. I was really psyched about those because those are well, very dear to me from the 90s. And many career highlights, lots of really cool gigs in really cool parties. One of the biggest highlights was last year I was playing in Rave the Planet in Berlin, 300,000 people, and the sun was setting in the by the statue in Tiergarten, and it was like an orange sky, and I played Lazy's Lovely Day at that moment. That was amazing. But yeah, many highlights in the career.
Now, I need to come if you're going there next year. Or next time.
I'm going this year. I'm going this year.
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe
August 17th.
Maybe I'll be able to join in. But honestly, all the parties that I've been blessed to attend where you've been DJing have been amazing. Joy of music, house music, and music in general. So thank you for the music, so to say. And now, last question. Which is again quite big question, but if you think of all of your career in house music, but also in music in general, what would you say is your message and contribution to the house music community?
Whoa, huge question. My contribution, well, I can only hope that I've brought much joy and fun and positive vibes to people through my music. And that's why I aim for as a DJ and a producer. I always concentrate on the party where I'm playing. I'm always considered that because I know how hard life can be. And I know from my past memories that those parties have given me so much escapism and fun times, just to get out of your daily routines and have fun times. I hope that I have given that to as many people as possible, and I continue to do so.
Beautiful way to put it. And again, it truly, I think it shows in your works and in those moments for those audiences that have been able to witness you doing live gigs. Also in your work in media, in radio, I would say you spread, the good vibes and awareness of new music in general. It's kind of like a other side that we didn't really explore here so much, but I would say you as a DJ obviously have taken on that role of educating people about new music and music in general when it comes to the electronic dance music. And obviously you in your media and radio position have been contributing and doing a lot of that. So I just had to mention it here for all of those people who are maybe not aware of that side, but it's a huge here, especially for the Finnish music community, I would say.
Thank you.
Most welcome. And a little bit about your current projects.
I'm working on a few house tracks that will be coming out later this year. Mm-hmm. And I'm also building an ambient album, which I'm releasing perhaps later this year or early next year. Wonderful. And then some more disco and house music on the works.
Mm-hmm. So there is plenty of more new music and tracks to come from our amazing guest, Roberto Rodriguez. And now, if somebody wants to follow you and find out more about you, where can they find you in social media?
In Instagram, you can find me with the handle @Roberto RGZ. And on SoundCloud, you can easily find me, Roberto Rodriguez. It's
right.
there. my Spotify and my title are a bit, messy because there's another artist by the same name who uses the same name, and his releases come to my profiles. I'm constantly trying to clean them up, but they pop up every time I clean one release. That one pops up. Yeah. So I'm in a constant struggle with cleaning my profiles in streaming services. But if you listen carefully, the music you will know which ones are mine.
Definitely, definitely. That experience and that artistry and enthusiasm, definitely it's audible in all of your works. And again, now it was 17th of August, right?
Yeah.
So people, if you happen to be in Berlin and Germany, now it's your amazing chance to witness Roberto Rodriguez live also. So please join in.
I wouldn't advertise too much because it's not 100% confirmed my gig, but let's see. I will be there in any case. If not playing, I will be partying there.
All right. Amazing. And I might be joining you too. Who knows? But yeah. Again, thank you for this interview and for this amazing opportunity. Thank you for always, being very active and hosting those parties here in Helsinki area, where I have had also pleasure to join in and dance the night away, so to say. And again, thank you for this interview, and people check those releases out that were mentioned. And I sent you this time a lot of love straight from Helsinki to you in Helsinki.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. And now let's continue to the mini mix. So take care and bye.
Bye.